My family has owned this house for over 50 years. One minute I have a house that's worth $287,000, and the next minute it gets taken away from me for $4,000. Like, what? This ain't China. My name is Mark Mucciaccio. I've lived in Easton pretty much all my life. When the pandemic hit, it caused us to, lose most of our revenue coming into the household.
Even more restrictions, shutting down construction in the city.
Thousands of construction workers are now off the job, they say.
I worked in the construction business, and, I got letters from my company saying, we'll hire you back, as soon as this is over. But, we were up against the pandemic as well, so it just was no light at the end of the tunnel anywhere for us. When I had paid some money on the taxes, I paid a large sum, and then there was a balance left. The town had always told me, just pay what you can, as long as you're paying something, just keep on paying what you can pay. I've been working since I was young. I've been paying my taxes. My family's always paid the taxes on the house here, sure, we get behind. Things happen to people. Sitting at the table having coffee, regular Veterans Day holiday, relaxing. A woman knocks on the door and says they have the deed to my house and they're here to change the locks.
It's pretty unbelievable. Home equity theft happens when you owe the government property taxes, and instead of just taking what it's owed, the government will take your entire house and all of your life savings in it. So they're used in an entirely different way than what was originally contemplated with the first of these laws.
I called the town and they told me, yes, we sold your deed, and because of $4,000 that was left over on the tax bill. I couldn't fathom what was going on at the time, and I said, me and my brother own this house. It was just the worst feeling in the world, thinking that this was my legacy to my grandchildren, and here we are, we'd be left with nothing at all.
There are people who fell behind on their property taxes, often over tiny debts, trivial debts as small as $8, and they lose their property. I mean, that's what happened to Yuri Raffaelli.
And a years-long legal battle for a man who lost his home over an $8 debt.
Retired engineer Yuri Raffaelli lost his rental property over an $8.41 tax debt. His Southfield home was seized by Oakland County, put up for auction, and sold for more than $24,000.
They prey upon people who, either because of mistake, illness, or just poverty, miss a property tax, and then they, instead of just taking what they're owed with some interest and cost, they take everything from people. A man named Benjamin Coleman, who had dementia, and he'd accidentally underpaid his taxes, and he lost his house. That's when we learned that this was happening in the United States, and started looking for cases like this.
I could have been in the same boat. I could have been homeless. My family could have been homeless. Hailey is 11 years old. She's my granddaughter. She's just been the light of my life, I would say. I believe Hailey was 5 or 6. And we thought she had the flu. And she ended up collapsing in our living room. And we rushed her to the hospital. And then we came to find out that she had ketoacidosis, which is her blood sugar was too high for too long. They've rushed her to Children's Hospital, so she was type 1 diabetes. My wife was a mess every day, and, you know, everybody's now in panic mode because, you know, we have no place to live, basically. You know, they took the only thing I have that's worth anything, so now I can't even go to the bank to get money to try to help myself. So, you know, it was just so upsetting to all of us, and I'm sure she saw things that were going on, but I don't think she really realized or fathomed like how bad things really were. I should have paid my taxes, I get it, you know, but to lose my house because I made a mistake, you know, like that, I mean, it just didn't seem right. This has to be brought out in the open. People need to see what these people are putting people through, and they're taking your livelihood away from me. They're taking your life. I had Pacific Legal behind me.
Mark was able to actually get his house back. And I think the key difference there was that the public was watching.
I was just crying. Hailey's been almost like a daughter to me. I don't know if she's been that thing maybe that drives me, you know, to be a better person and to be a better man, I guess. This is her home, you know, and I'd like to keep it her home, and she wants to keep this as her home as well.